Now here's a brand idea that takes product into a completely new space. Chocknology is an exhibition of 3D printed chocolate sculptures by 10 of South Africa's hottest creative designers. The brand in question was Kit Kat. Now from a chocolate to wine, you can't accuse us of not pandering to the festive season. Diners Club has appointed writer J.P. Rossouw as the new publisher of the famous Platters wine guide. As well as being a journalist, he's also spent some time in advertising as a copywriter, and he's waiting to talk to us in Cape Town. J.P., a very warm welcome to you. First of all, how long has the Platters guide been in existence? It really has been part of the wine landscape, hasn't it?
The 2014 guide is the 34th. It's one of the longest standing wine guides in the world, in fact, so it's a remarkable achievement.
How would you have wine lovers engage with and use this book?
In my position as the new publisher for Platters, I really would like to expand its scope. I think that as a guide for the wine cognoscenti, it's without peer, as I say, internationally. I would also like to expand its reach into people who are learning about wine, who would like to find out about wine for the first time. You know, the South African wine scene is so vibrant, ever-changing, and I think with the platforms we can now offer social media-wise as well as extensions into other digital platforms, Platters is only going to grow and reach more and more people.
Isn't that the inevitable place that you've got to take this book? While the book itself in its current form is very valuable, I would imagine ultimately it will become a digital publication at some point.
I would hate the day that books disappear completely, but indeed digital offers many other ways to mine the information and for the user to interact with essentially great subjects like wine and food.
Well, that's certainly a sentiment that I endorse as well. Let's look at the size of the book itself. I know that you cover something like 3,000 establishments. Does the growth in the size of the book indicate a growing, burgeoning and more successful wine industry in South Africa?
The industry has grown by leaps and bounds. It's also becoming more diverse in the sense the wineries are often offering more and more product. They're expanding their portfolios. At the same time, there has been a slight sign of plateauing. I think that there is a limit to the acreage that you can plant to vine. But yes, indeed, the South African wine not only has grown in terms of volumes of wines to the market, but in terms of quality, there's been a significant step up. Witness the fact that in the latest Platters 2014, there are 80 five-star wines listed.
How do you actually rate the wine itself, and do you ever get it wrong?
Yes, well, wine is a subjective field, naturally. It's about personal taste. We use a panel of expert tasters. The Platters system is very interesting and quite unique in the sense that we taste all the wines cited, i.e. we pay homage to their provenance, to the story that the winemaker and the producer would like to tell. But the wines that then are tagged as being potentially a five-star wine go into another round of tasting, which is blind. And in blind tasting, you really aren't influenced by any of the other signaling, and all you pay attention to is what's in the glass. So the wines that actually achieve 5 stars have gone through a very rigorous and multi-phase process of assessment.
J.P. Rossouw, we wish you the very best. Thank you for joining us from Cape Town. Finally this week, let's return to retail advertising and the British store Marks & Spencer's new ad with actress Helena Bonham-Carter. It's built around the company's magic and sparkle catchphrase, with the cast making their way through a series of fairy tales, including Alice in Wonderland and The Wizard of Oz. It's an interesting ad. Marks & Spencer is facing a vital Christmas season as it attempts to get its underperforming clothing business back on track. Let's go behind the scenes.
It's a real honour to be asked to do the Marks & Spencer Christmas commercial. I think it's a commercial at Christmas everybody looks forward to seeing. It's one of the biggest Christmas commercials and it's iconically British, so I'm really happy to be here.
I've always been a fan of M&S, so it was fun. I thought, yeah, why not?
We were obviously delighted when we were first asked to come in and look at the ideas and this magical sort of concept. We were sort of very excited.
I loved the concept. It just felt instantly Christmassy and going back to all the magical fairy tales and becoming a child again.
Well, it's very Christmassy because it's all about fairy tales and I thought it just seemed really sweet and enchanting.
We shot a lot of stuff on the magic carpet. Today we're in the magical forest, so it's a bit more Alice in Wonderland. We've got a lot of beautiful extras. It looks gorgeous. I mean, just looking through the camera and seeing playbacks, everything looks stunning.
The sets has been spectacular. I mean, I've worked on obviously a couple of short films and other productions, and nothing has come close to this. And what's lovely is actually is that there's not much sort of CGI. It's all sort of in sets, and yeah, it's been spectacular.
Well, I sort of live with Tim Burton, so it doesn't seem... I've played odder things, so for me, actually, to play a dismembered head of, a wizard is actually kind of a normal thing for me to do.
The outfits were themed accordingly to the characters, so we've got an Alice in Wonderland look, we have a Dorothy look, there's a lot of going up in a harness, there's a few, small stunts. I'm up for anything. I turn up for work every day and just try and be open, try my best at everything, and, try and have a good time whilst you're doing it.
It was fun to be a wizard. It's odd because I'm just about to play a fairy godmother in a film version of Cinderella, so it's obviously the year or just the time that's sort of in the air that I get to play, the sort of godmothery types.
Well, I think that the Marks & Spencer Christmas commercial it's always got a lot of eyes on it, and there's a lot expected from it.
And with all of that festive cheer, that's where we're going to leave it for this week. Goodbye to you, and thank you for watching.
News that moves. ENCA.com.